with Dr. Karen McCormick. I had to read the name tape.
That's all right.
Because I was surprised that we had so many politicians here. Tell me about yourself, Doctor.
So I am a veterinarian. That's what I've been doing for 33 years. And I'm a mom and I'm a small business owner.
Really?
And never intended to run for public office until 2 years ago.
Which office are you running for?
I am running for the congressional seat in District 4 here in Colorado. So that's 22 counties.
Okay.
The entire eastern third of our state.
Oh, you've got some land to cover.
Population centers are Longmont, which is my home, Greeley, Castle Rock, Parker, kind of scoops around Pueblo and Colorado Springs, picks up Trinidad, which is where we are tonight, and everything east to Kansas.
Is this your first visit to Trinidad?
I came here years and years ago with my husband, who grew up in Monument when our kids were little, and we were doing the Colorado tour.
Right.
But I haven't been here in many years, so it's so fun to see the action and the revitalization of downtown.
Well, right behind us is the Space to Create. You probably don't know about this, but it's...
Well, I heard about it earlier this evening about what's happening there, and how there's going to be like lofts upstairs for residential and retail downstairs.
Right. It's a piece of the puzzle. The other thing is, I don't know if you know who Dana Crawford is and Jay Shimino.
I know who Dana is and what she has done in Denver, and I heard that she has a hand in what's happening down here, but I've not yet met her.
And along with Jay Shimino,
yeah,
who was born and raised here, Phil Longford. And I don't know how many buildings he's bought now, but his heart and passion is in Trinidad, and he has invested a great deal. So those of us that have lived here, I came here in the early 80s, that have seen the rise and fall several times of our economy, we're all excited. And it also is very endearing to have politicians come here, because we feel a bit neglected by politicians.
I've heard that many places in our district.
Right.
Very neglected, where perhaps a politician shows up when they're first running and then you never see them again.
Correct.
Yeah, that's got to change.
Well, in the state legislature, as I had a county administrator explain to me, Tom, out of the 100, 65 representatives and 35 senators, a handful are from rural communities. So when they make decisions, therefore the urban, areas.
Right.
So we need some help out here.
Exactly. And that's so much of our district, and there's a way to represent the suburban areas and the rural areas. They're not always at complete conflict with each other.
Right.
It's really all about, and I've been a problem solver my whole life. So when you run your own business, when you're a veterinarian, you have problems coming at you every single day. You can't run away from them. You've got to figure it out, and you got to get things done. And I just think we need more people that are willing to do that in government, whether it be city council all the way up to Congress. We need people that are willing to sit down and talk to each other, hear good ideas, even if it's from the other side of the table, and really work for the good of the people. And I think there's just a disconnect, not only from rural counties and towns with their elected representatives, but even in the suburban and urban areas. I think there's just a disconnect with the people that have forgotten who it is they work for, and who got them there in the first place, and why are they there. And
let me ask you that. Why? Is this your
first venture into politics? And the biggest trigger for me is that I grew up in a family. My dad was career military, career naval officer. He was a fighter pilot, retired as a rear admiral. So we spent 30 years traveling this country, serving this country. So my dad was gone half my childhood, and I thought that was normal until I grew up and raised my kids all in one house.
Right.
And to see the difference in how I grew up versus how they grew up, and know that we really did sacrifice as a family, and we did that for the good of this country as a whole, not as I grew up in a Republican family, not as Republicans, not as Democrats, not as unaffiliated, but as the proud, strong country that we are. And so my dad passed away 7 years ago, but I know if he were alive today, he would not be happy with the direction that we're going and the things that we are tearing apart, from our relationships with across this world,
Right.
to our ability to have a functioning government with the checks and balances that are written into our Constitution, Congress, the executive branch, the judicial branch. We need those three branches of our government to do their jobs.
Right.
And they're supposed to hold each other accountable. And so for my kids that are in their 20s, for my past is what triggered me, for my future of my kids triggered me. And I knew that with my life experience and my ability to listen first, take compassion to the people and bring it from the people and to solve problems, I thought this is my time. I mean, I truly have a fire in my belly to get this done. And the people of this district need a voice. And they haven't had one for 4 years.
We don't. Well, that's a good story.
So,
but one detail. Your dad was in the Navy. We're in the middle of the country.
Yep.
How did he end up in Colorado?
I know. This is actually kind of a funny story. So yeah, I always lived on the coast, right? That's where all the Navy bases are. So I was in Florida, going to veterinary school there, and got out of veterinary school, practiced in
that area.
University of Florida in Gainesville.
Okay.
I went to undergraduate there. My undergrad degree is in agriculture, which helps me tremendously when I'm out on the Eastern Plains. I was a dairy science major.
Okay.
So I met my husband there, who's a native Coloradan. His ancestors came to Colorado on a wagon train. That's how far back he goes. And met him there. He was in commercial real estate at the time. And commercial real estate market kind of tanked in the 80s. And he said, we can move to Colorado. I'm like, great, I can live anywhere because I grew up in the Navy.
Yeah.
And moved here 24 years ago. And this is my home forever.
Wow.
I'm not leaving. This is the best place I've ever lived. And I've lived enough places. I don't need to move anymore. So that's how I ended up here, and I'm so happy and proud to be a Coloradan.
All right. Well, you're reaching high, but you've done well. Getting into veterinary school is not easy. Yeah. So you have the capabilities clearly.
Oh yeah, I do, and I have the passion to really serve the people.
Right.
I've been in service my whole life. You're in a service industry. I grew up in the service. I was in service to my community, serving the people in my veterinary hospital. I've done multiple service activities through nonprofits for the last 10 to 15 years. So service is in my DNA.
Okay.
And this is just taking it to...
we do have some good background
I know,
going on
it's
here.
good. I'm just taking it to the next level because I saw a problem that needs solving.
Right.
And it's our representation.
Well, not trying to drag too much what's going on nationally, but there are issues without taking sides. This is just a quick interview, so
yeah, it is.
But I appreciate it.
And I'm running for this district.
Right.
I'm running to be a voice for rural Colorado, for the people of the 4th Congressional, and I'm traveling all 22 counties in this district, listening, learning, and being a voice for the people, finding out what the problems are that we need help with on a federal level.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, if you come back again, if you're willing, I'll interview you again.
Okay.
And we'll get it out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's it helps for people in rural community to actually put a name and a face together and their ideas.
Yep. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. God bless you.
You too.
All right.